A couple of people have been in there for a half hour already.
Oh my God.
In the chat. Just hanging out. Good evening, everyone. Give us another minute or so. Oh, that sounds pretty cool listening to the rehearsal.
No, he's got it.
No, yo sé. I took
All right, good evening, everyone. We are on location today from the Camille Playhouse as we kick off their season 59 here in the city of Brownsville. And with me is the artistic director, Brandon Binder.
Yes.
How you doing, Brandon?
Hello, I'm doing good.
So we chose this time since they're kicking off the season. We thought we'd do it a little different. We've been playing it by ear the last time. Every time we did one of their presentations, but since we're starting from the very beginning, we thought, you know what? Somebody brought up the idea. Let's do a kickoff, and they invited some people here, and so we have a mobile cam walking around as well to show you the playhouse itself while we're talking here. That's the auditorium. So, season 59. How goes it?
It is going well. It is kicked off already. We had auditions for our first musical last week, and actually right behind us, the rehearsals have already begun. It is an incredible musical, Pippin by Stephen Schwartz, and we are so excited to get this year going.
That's awesome. Now, how many presentations do you have this season?
We are going to have 7 shows. So we will have 3 musicals and 4 plays through our season, our year.
Okay, and how often do they go? You know, when the first one is done, how much time before the next one?
Each show has between 4 to 6 weeks between them, just to give everyone time to prepare the show. Musicals take longer, so those take about 6 weeks, and the plays are about 4 weeks. So this first half of the year, we have one every month and a half.
Okay.
And then next, in the second part of our season, as the new year comes in, it's just about one every month.
Oh, okay. Nice. Now here we can see the mobile cams over at that's the auditorium.
Yes, that is right at our stage. We have some tables set up just to give some idea as we're planning our set pieces for this show. So yeah, they're set up there with a couple of lights, and then further back is our workshop area with our costume loft, and everything that we need to build our sets are further back there. Everything is done in-house by volunteers. So it is an incredible community-wide project each time that we prepare one of these shows.
That's awesome. And so how are you handling COVID this season? Anything different than last season?
I know at the beginning of last season, we're a little bit more strict. Beginning of 2020, or, you know, when all of that was going on, we were a little bit more strict. Right now, we are following exactly what the guidelines are and what the CDC says. We're encouraging masks. We're sanitizing everything. And everything has been pretty safe as far as I know here, even with all of the audience members.
And then what about seating? Is there still going to be space seating, or is that?
We do reserve some seats so that we can allow space. We only sell so many tickets per show. Just to allow some of that spacing. We aren't going to rope off anything. We're just going to assume that people are going to leave a couple of seats open and give some elbow room to the groups.
Yep. And then real quick, finally, concessions. Anything available on site? Are people still allowed? Are they allowed to bring their own kind of snacks in, or what are the rules there?
Yeah, definitely. We have opened our concession stand, which is right behind the camera. And we do serve a couple of refreshments and snacks, which are allowed. Unfortunately, no outside food or drinks are available. So yeah, they will be here at the beginning of every show and at intermission of the shows.
That's awesome. So we've got our roaming camera back there showing stage, right? That's the stage area and all that workshop back there.
Yeah, they're right on stage looking up at the lights above the stage area. That top part back there is where we have all the costumes and everything. Underneath is the dressing rooms, our 4 dressing rooms, our paint area, as well as the further back workshop area.
And how many seats does the auditorium hold?
The auditorium holds
Normally,
303, I believe it is. Yeah, that's a nice, good view of all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely nice.
Yeah.
Now because of the restrictions, you guys are being safe about it. What's your capacity now?
I think we're gonna be a little. I guess it'll vary depending on the show, depending on the interest and how many people we have per show. I believe we're at about 200.
Okay.
Is a good number that we have sold out or filled that number of seats, which still allows some space in the auditorium.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but as the artistic director, you did start at a kind of a young age, right?
Yeah, compared to some of the other ones that have held this position.
So, is it correct you are the youngest to hold this position here?
As far as I know, yes. And Miss Marty De Gregorio is here here to kind of confirm some of those facts for us if need be.
Come up and
you.
join if you let's see where you are. There you go. That's
Thank
good.
you,
Perfect.
Manny.
Perfect.
Good evening. Thank
Marty,
you
welcome.
again for honoring us with being here. We love the exposure. We love to talk to you, and thank you
Fun.
so much. Yes, Brandon is the youngest in our history, but he started. He didn't just audition and get this part. He started when he was 12 years old or something like that on our stage.
Oh wow.
And at the summer workshop. So he's got a long history with us. He's learned from all the directors we've had. He's watched, he's gone to school, he's perfected his craft, and he's a well-rounded performer. You know, he sings, he acts, he directs, he does choreographs, he does everything.
You have performed. You're not just
Oh yeah.
Correct.
what do they call it? A tie, right?
Oh yeah,
No, no, no,
exactly. I'm
No.
not just a face.
A suit,
or-
a suit.
yeah.
He's not just a suit. He knows what he's talking about because he's been on both sides. And he's been several places in the world, singing. And so we're very pleased. We made a good choice. And here we are.
That's awesome. Now tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your role here with the Playhouse?
Well, I have
For
the
those who don't
honor.
know, Marty De Gregorio.
I have the honor, Manny, of serving as president this term. And we have a board consisting of 15 directors, 2 of which are here. Miss Edna De Leon, she'll come on camera in a little bit. And of course, David Salinas. And they're great support. And we went through really hard times, like everybody. I realize that. But being a nonprofit, if you don't have performances, you don't have patrons. If you don't have patrons, you don't have tickets. If you don't have tickets, you don't have money.
Right.
And we're nonprofit, and so it was very difficult. We had to dismiss staff, the 2 that we had. It was just, so we're getting back on our feet, and we're excited because we took baby steps last year, and now here we are with a full-blown season. And let me just tell you that next year is our 60th anniversary. 60
years. Wow.
Just so that the audience knows, we are the oldest existing community theater south of San Antonio.
Okay.
We started
That's awesome.
in 1964, and we're going strong. We think that we're a gem of the community. People really enjoy what we do, not only performing, but we teach, we mentor, and we're very proud of that. We're
Right, because you did have a summer program, right, for young people?
Yeah, exactly.
That just wrapped. Is it still going on? That wrapped up already.
We just finished. It was in 2 4-week programs, so 8 weeks in total. I was happily hired to be the head director for that program as well.
Okay.
And we teach students ages 5 to 17 all the aspects of performing arts and singing, dancing, acting, camaraderie, technical skills, costumes, makeup, everything, so that they can enjoy the arts and be enveloped in it the way that so many of us have, including me. That's where I started, was during the summer workshop program.
That's awesome to climb like that, be in from the like they say, like from the ground when everything started, and you start from the beginning. That's pretty great. Marty, I wanted to ask you one more, talking about COVID again.
Yes.
What are your plans for the future to either cancel the restrictions, or how are you keeping an eye on that? What are you going to do with?
You know, we don't think it's safe to cancel all the restrictions. As you know, the problem is still with us, and we don't feel comfortable with saying, "Hey, folks, come on in, have at it," and a ver cómo nos va. You know, we just have to respect our spaces still. We have to respect, and we strongly encourage mask wearing. And we've been very, very fortunate. We've only had a couple of instances when somebody on stage got sick, not because of us. And so we just removed that person and we went on. But we, at this time, we do not feel comfortable in.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, sir. No, sir.
I see our roaming camera is in front of a portrait right now. Who do we have? Who do we have there?
Oh, Michael is in front of
Miss Gladys.
Gladys Porter. As you know, Manny, probably Gladys Porter and Camille Leitner were sisters, and their best friend was Henry DeStefano over there. And when Camille passed away, the family asked the best friend, Henry, "What do you think we should do in her name as a memorial?" And she said, "You know, she loves to perform. She loves the theater. Why don't we build her a theater?" And that's how they said, "That's a great idea." And that's how Camille came to be. And of course, it was fitting to name it Camille Leitner Playhouse. Yeah.
Now, he did show us the other portrait. Can you go by the other one? We just, so,
Oh, that is our beloved and dearly missed Joan Mcneil. She was president, an actor, a board member for many years, and passionate about the Camille for how many years? Thousands of years. And we lost her, not to COVID. Before COVID, we lost her, and we miss her. And we dedicated this new lobby when we remodeled it, and now it's called the Jones Lounge.
Okay.
And we miss her every day, but she is just like you see in that portrait, Manny.
Yeah.
That's how she was. She was a diva. She was always elegant. Am I right?
Yes.
She was always performing. She was always big in everything she did and said, and we miss her, but she's smiling. She's smiling at everything that we've done. And her husband, Mr. Jim McNeil, is still a friend of ours, of the Camille, and he visits all the time, and he's a great donor.
Yeah, that's a great portrait.
Yes.
Definitely is. Brandon, I was going to ask you as the artistic question. People want to know, what's your style like? Where did you pick up this style? What do you call your style anything, or where do you think that came from?
Well, I know definitely a lot of different creative people build their style off of who they've learned from. I definitely think that is what has built my style, as you would call it. One of the biggest things, though, is I take a lot of inspiration from being a performer myself. When I am in charge of a show, I realize that I've been on the other side of it. I know exactly what it is to be part of singing something and dancing something and how staging works. So a lot of my style comes from thinking as an actor first rather than as a director. So I want to say that it's an easy thing to pick up on as a performer, but I haven't heard anything negative quite yet.
So you guys are opening with Pippin.
Yes.
But that wasn't going to be your first.
Correct.
What was going to be the first, and why the switch?
When we originally proposed our season, we were hoping to open with the show Rock of Ages. And one of the processes that happens when we decide our season is we have to apply for the rights and everything to be able to put on the show here. If you decide to do a show without that, you can be greatly penalized and have to have all these fees and everything like that. So we want to make sure everything is in order first. So when we applied for those, we did not hear back. There was a complication with the company who owns it. So we're still on a waiting list technically for it. But we wanted to announce our season and give people enough time to prepare an audition so that everything can be ready. So we hit a certain point where we said we couldn't wait anymore. And so we applied for a second show, which was Pippin, and we received the rights right away. So we were able to announce that one.
Because Manny, you cannot announce a show or do any
Mhm.
publishing of
Marketing for it, yeah.
anything, no marketing until you have those rights and royalties.
Oh, I see.
And so we just couldn't wait anymore. It was time for us to announce our season, and we had to go with something else.
So is that a possibility to still be added for the season, or is that just ruled out for now?
It's ruled out for this season. We would continue to look at it as a possibility in future seasons,
Yeah.
but we have everything planned and ready for this season. So I know it's a big, exciting show, but I bet I can assure there's a lot more exciting things to come.
I'm sure there is. So tell us about Pippin a little bit. What is Pippin for those who don't know? Is it based on a book?
Pippin is actually it's a musical by Stephen Schwartz, and he wrote a short kind of play musical when he was in school called Pippin, and then took inspiration with another writer and eventually completely changed it. But it is the story of this boy who is brought up in a kingdom as part of as a prince kind of, and then begins to explore different parts of his life that he couldn't before, including his relationship with his father, the king, everything else in the outside world, eventually finding a separate family, another woman that he falls in love with. And all of this is happening inside of a circus. So it's actually a show within a show.
Oh.
So the whole time that this is happening, the leading player, who's kind of like the ringmaster, is narrating everything. And she's in control of what is happening. And there's some fourth wall breaking, and people kind of jump back into the idea, oh yeah, I'm looking at a show within a show. But it is incredible. There's a lot of circus aspects to it because it is based in a circus. We're planning to have a lot of exciting things, tricks and stunts and everything like that. There's also beautiful music, a lot of things that are standard to some people because this was originally directed by Bob Fosse. Yeah, so it's a very technical, physical show as well. So there's a lot of things, a lot of dance moments in it that are very big in that sort of community. So it's very, very exciting.
That's awesome.
Manny, you asked a little while ago about what the brand and style is, and maybe we can't define it yet, but from what we've seen so far, Jekyll and Hyde, and now the plans for this, I can assure you that it's not just get up there, read your lines, and move on. Get up there, read your lines, and move on. He always adds some sort of magic to it. And I use that term because that's what it is. You know, theater is magic to begin with. But he, with the lights, he plays with lights, he plays with staging. And so you can look forward to that. This will not be just, another musical. I went to see Pippin. It'll have that extra little, you'll be wowed. You'll be wowed. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So, he will,
sense,
he will define his style as he goes. And he not only will do musicals, he will be known for straight plays and other things. And
So I noticed is it your second play?
Oh, the one after Pippin? Yes.
Yes. What is that title?
It is called Mojada, a Medea in Los Angeles.
Okay. So to some people, the word mojada could be a derogatory term, or it is perhaps. You expect any backlash from that, or have you received any concern regarding that title?
I have already received conversation. It's not negative or positive. It's a lot of interest into what this could be. Because as you said, this term could be derogatory. And the writer of this show, Luis Alfaro, even made a point to say that the whole purpose of naming the show that is to reclaim that word. It's not to give it any sort of negativity. It's to shine light on the experiences of a certain group of people. And I fully believe that. And even as I proposed the show to our board, there was conversation already about how this would be taken, especially in our community. But I definitely think that this is something that will bring light to situation, even light to things that we may even know as people here in the Valley. You know, it's something that does connect to home for some people and does connect personally.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see all of that presented on the stage with this show.
And we did, like he says, we did have a conversation about that because, well, for the obvious reasons, but that's part of our work, Manny, to teach and to enlighten and to show you a different side, a different perspective of what you think is a reality. And that's what we're trying to do with this play. And at first people will maybe recoil, but once they see it and once the word gets spread, it's going to be fine.
Interesting. What is your next play after that?
After that, it is The Sound of Music by Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Who doesn't know The Sound of Music, right?
Big classic, many musical standards for a lot of people. The Sound of Music, the title song, My Favorite Things, Edelweiss, Do Re Mi. So many classic songs come from that show. And we don't even think about it, but like they come up so much in popular culture, used for other things, and it all really circles back to this one show. And I am so excited to bring it to our stage.
And then, so that's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
That should be a popular one.
Very popular. And we specifically placed it in December because that's when family is looking for things to do, to take the kiddos, the school shows, you know, that's going to be our anchor one, we think.
And are your evenings still Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 2 weekends. And for that show in particular, we're going to offer a couple of days for schools to come in during the week to see the show as enrichment and to get the younger generation into the seats and see what we're doing.
That's great. All right, what do you got after that? What's next after Sound of Music?
After that, that will be mid-December, and we pick things up, I think, January 2nd with auditions for Agatha Christie's A Spider's Web, which is a murder mystery, dark horror, dark humor show. It's so funny, but very compelling as a murder mystery.
So you're saying auditions for it? Is that what you said?
Maybe. Either rehearsals start January 2nd or auditions happen January 2nd. I can't remember exactly. But right at the beginning of the new year, we're going to be picking everything back up.
Gotcha. What comes after Agatha Christie?
After that, it is a musical called Songs for a New World by Jason Robert Brown. And this musical is a balance between a musical and a song cycle. And what a song cycle is just songs back to back to back. No speaking, very little choreography. And that is what Jason Robert Brown has done with Songs for a New World.
Okay.
It is a beautiful, multiple stories layered upon different characters that all talk about one pivotal moment in someone's life. And it is beautiful music, a very small cast, but very, very, very compelling stories.
Okay, so after that, how many are left? What's that?
2 more.
2 left.
Yeah, it's a long season. We have 7 shows planned. Last season we had 6, but from what I was able to push together with the schedule, I knew that 7 could work. Because the next one is As You Like It, which is a Shakespearean comedy. And it's all about love and people falling in love at first sight, even though they don't exactly know who they're falling in love with. So there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of costume changes. And there's actually one really big monologue from that show. Life is a stage, man is an actor.
Yeah.
I think that's a monologue that a lot of people know, and it actually comes from that show. So we're very excited to do that. And I know that there's also a South Texas Shakespeare Fest that happens further up in the valley, and it all happens at the same time. So I'm glad that was able to fit in that time period.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
And then you're closing out with?
We are closing out with a show which has a very long title, but it is called Alice Meets Dorothy, or The Wizard of Wonderland. It's kind of two titles, and it's exactly as it sounds. It's those 2 stories combined into one, as the story of this young boy who is writing a book report gets transported into a world between those 2 stories. So he is being chased.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's helping the Scarecrow and the Cheshire Cat while also being chased by the Wicked Witch of the West and the Red Queen. So it is crazy. And the biggest thing about that show is that is our youth theater production. So it'll be for people ages 12 to 17 or around that age range. So they will get the chance to put on that show.
That's great. And you have a lot of young people in all your productions.
There's a couple of shows that allow the younger group to be part of it. We want to really encourage everyone of all ages to be part of any show, except the youth theater, because that one is specific for that age range. But every other show this season has opportunities for anyone of any age, any training, of any experience, of any background whatsoever. Anyone can walk into our auditions and feel confident to be part of a production.
That's awesome. And you do hold auditions, and you post those if anyone is interested in auditioning for whatever it may be. You do make those public?
Yes, we make all of our auditions public, and we will let people know exactly what to prepare, if there will be callbacks, which we need to double check and see people, and give ample time so that they can prepare whatever they need to for the auditions.
And do you post them on your website?
On our website and our Facebook.
So that's CamillePlayhouse.net is where you want to keep an eye on. Oh, there we see what's going on there. Just rehearsal.
Yes. So this is our first week of rehearsals. So the cast is beginning by learning all the music of Pippin. We have an incredible music director there, Isaac Mancias. He's actually new to the Camille, but not new to music. So I'm excited to work with him. And he has taken charge of teaching all of these people every part of the music for this show.
So somebody brought up a question in the comments there. So I don't know where it was. I want to say Texas, but I'm not sure. There was an incident with the play Hamilton. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Is that what you're talking about as far as not having permission?
Exactly.
Yes,
to
exactly.
run the play?
Yeah, what had happened with their production was they decided to do the production without confirming that they had the rights. One of the parts of receiving the rights is a clause that will say you cannot adjust anything in the book. You cannot change words. You cannot do anything like that unless confirmed by the company that owns the show. And what they did is they changed a couple of things. They changed parts of the show. So there was some reprimand for them putting on that performance.
So it didn't matter. It was a church, just a small production, a little clip, or
No.
doesn't matter.
And as far as I know, any organization can apply for the rights as long as they pay for it and they let all the information known about how many seats they're going to sell, where they're located, everything like that. But as long as you apply for them and it's approved, then you can work
So
on it.
the I'll call it outrage was that they changed. I'm not real sure, but I know some of the script was changed to be more biblical, if that makes sense.
Yes.
A little insensitive to the
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ana de Leon. Nice to be on. Thank you, Manny. Thank you for all you do for us, and thanks for having us. I actually was here to sell season tickets, but we want to talk about anyway. Yeah. So it was the issue was that if I'm not mistaken, not so much that they infringed on the copyright, but that they changed the wording to it's a church. They tried to evangelize, it's to be expected. They tried to bring people in by evangelizing with a popular theme, just Hamilton.
Yeah, but that's a no-no.
No, of course it's a no-no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
But we're sad about it for many reasons, but one of them is that they shine the light on South Texas. So now everybody's going to be looking at that. That's why we always have our ducks in order, because we can be accused of many things, but not of that.
Right.
That.
Yeah, and with that said, we've had a hard 2 years of not having a good full house and of shows, and now that Marty and Brandon have showcased to you in Brownsville and the RGB and all of your audience,
And then
our shows.
Part of that is because of COVID.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yeah, we made a good run of still keeping together in spite of the fact that we had to shut down. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we are back. We are back and ready to roll.
So what is your role in this?
Well, I'm the treasurer. Hello, money bags. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'm always watching the bottom line, as we all are. But I would like to just say that we have a fantastic season, an amazing director, an amazing board. We are so lucky and blessed that we are all, we are able to work together. And you know what? Theater is fun. It's not just like for nerds. It's like a good place to be, right? And Brandon grew up in this theater, and when he was up and running for our director, and we had many talented and capable submissions to look through.
So you're the money person. How much are tickets right now?
Okay, let's get to that.
Right now.
I would like to say that we are actually getting bombarded already by people who are saying, hey, season tickets, when are they coming, when are they rolling out? And we have actually postponed that a little bit for whatever reason. This is our PR guy here,
David Salinas here.
How's it going?
Yeah,
works behind the scenes.
Yeah, and so I've had emails coming in that saying, hey, when are they coming, we want our season tickets. You know, last year we sold 81
tickets last year.
81 season tickets.
Yep.
At $130 for 7 shows, you cannot go wrong. I mean, it is a bargain in itself.
That's not bad.
No, it is not bad.
You'll be saving $25 roughly, yeah.
Well,
About that.
yeah. And anyway, to make a long story short, we have already had people saying, when are y'all rolling out those season tickets? And August 16th is
August 16th is the target date, correct, to sell out tickets. They're going to be online. You can go to www.camilleplayhouse.net. And you'll look at the tabs, and you'll see something that says season and then season tickets.
Or call the office and we'll put you on a list.
Manny,
Gotcha.
have you been to our show?
I have not yet.
Oh my God. What's up with that?
So what is up with that?
Yeah,
I will ask you now. Why
I'm
have
planning
you not
to
been
attend the
our
opening.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, good.
And so, and we did this last season. I think we only got a chance to do it once, or maybe twice. Is to give away a pair of tickets to viewers local to Brownsville.
That's true.
Is that something that's possible?
That's something that's possible.
As he puts us on
Putting him on the spot here.
Of course, for opening night, we'd be happy to.
Okay, so what'll happen with that? We'll go live again before opening night, and then we'll do a giveaway show.
All right.
We'll be doing a show.
We'll recap the show like we did last season, just for Pippin.
Sure. Right.
And then we'll do a giveaway show.
Perfect.
So be looking out for that. What's the date? When does it open?
September 16th.
September 16th will be the opening
night of Pippin. Yeah.
59th season, which will kick off with Pippin. And come by. It's a fun time. You know, bring the family, go to a movie. The Gladys-Porter Zoo is across the street. So on the weekend, you can make a whole weekend day out of it.
Get wild, and you can go to Camille, and it's all good. Yes, please.
It's a great place to visit, guys. It really is.
For those of you that have not been here or have not come, please come and see us. You will be amazed.
Manny, a shout out to Class 37 of Leadership Brownsville. They selected us, Camille, as their class project, and they went to town fundraising, and they raised enough money for us to remodel our dressing rooms, which had not been touched since probably
1964.
Yes. And so with their help, we have done that, and we're going to have an official unveiling because we want to thank them and all the donors that helped this make possible.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
For those of you who are out of town or can't make it into Brownsville, if you would like to support, you can support and donate at CamillePlayhouse.net. They will gladly accept any donation.
Anything.
Nothing is too small.
Costumes, props, old furniture.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Volunteers,
yes.
checks,
Yes.
Venmo, Cash App.
Any final words from anyone before we wrap up tonight? Anybody want to say anything?
Come out.
Yes, come visit the theater.
Be amazed.
If you've never been here, make it. Just come.
You'll
love it.
Know your community theater. It is your theater. I say that every night. It's your theater. Get used to it. Get familiar with it. We welcome you. Yes.
Yeah, time to get out of the house. And
My guys,
besides the movies, just come out to a play, take the family out to a play, and
Thank you, Manny.
have a great time.
All right.
Thanks, Manny.
Thanks,
Everyone,
Manny.
thanks for tuning in. Again, be looking out for that giveaway show. They're going to give away a pair of tickets to see Pippin, which is September 16th, and more on that as the date gets closer.
That's right.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.